Most people think sexual health is all about hormones or desire, but there's a secret factor that's even more important, something that directly controls arousal, stamina, and pleasure. That factor is blood flow. Yes, the very same circulation that fuels your heart and muscles is also the hidden engine behind your sexual vitality. Today, we're diving deep into how your blood vessels, lifestyle, and even your mindset work together to sustain sexual performance, and how small changes can dramatically boost your sexual health at any age. Sexual health is often discussed in terms of hormones, desire, or performance, but one of the most overlooked foundations is something far more basic and deeply biological: blood flow. Long before arousal becomes conscious and long before hormones signal readiness, the circulatory system is already at work, determining how effectively the body can respond to sexual stimulation. Healthy blood flow is not just a supporting factor in sexual function. It is the central engine that makes arousal, sensation, and performance possible for both men and women. Every sexual response begins with communication between the brain, nerves, and blood vessels. When the brain perceives sexual interest or stimulation, it sends signals through the nervous system that instruct blood vessels in genital tissues to relax and widen. This process, known as vasodilation, allows a surge of blood to flow into highly specialized tissues. In men, this increased blood flow fills the corpora cavernosa, creating an erection. In women, it causes clitoral swelling, increased vaginal lubrication, and heightened sensitivity. Without adequate blood flow, these responses are weakened or may not occur at all, regardless of desire or emotional connection. At the heart of this process lies the health of the blood vessels themselves. Blood vessels are lined with a thin layer of cells called the endothelium. This lining plays a crucial role in producing nitric oxide, a molecule that signals blood vessels to relax and expand. Nitric oxide is often referred to as the on switch for blood flow during sexual arousal. When endothelial function is strong, nitric oxide production is efficient, allowing blood to move freely and quickly where it is needed. When endothelial function is impaired, blood vessels become stiff and less responsive, limiting circulation to sexual tissues. This is why sexual health is so closely linked to cardiovascular health. Conditions that damage blood vessels, such as high blood pressure, high cholesterol, insulin resistance, and chronic inflammation, often show up first as sexual dysfunction. In fact, reduced sexual performance is frequently an early warning sign of broader circulatory problems. The blood vessels supplying the genital area are smaller and more sensitive than those supplying the heart or brain, meaning they can reveal circulation issues years before more serious cardiovascular symptoms appear. Blood flow also affects sensation, not just performance. Nerves depend on a steady supply of oxygen and nutrients delivered by the bloodstream. When circulation is optimal, nerve endings in sexual tissues are more responsive, leading to stronger sensations and more satisfying experiences. When blood flow is compromised, nerve signaling weakens, sensitivity drops, and pleasure may feel muted or inconsistent. Over time, poor circulation can even contribute to nerve damage, further compounding sexual difficulties. Another often missed aspect is the role of blood flow in sustaining arousal, not just initiating it. Achieving arousal is one step, but maintaining it requires continuous circulation and proper pressure within blood vessels. In men, this means the ability to trap blood within erectile tissue by compressing veins that normally allow blood to exit. In women, sustained blood flow supports ongoing lubrication and tissue engorgement throughout sexual activity. Any disruption in this delicate balance can lead to loss of arousal, discomfort, or difficulty reaching orgasm. Age-related changes in sexual health are also strongly tied to circulation. As people age, blood vessels naturally lose some of their elasticity, and nitric oxide production declines. This does not mean sexual vitality is destined to fade, but it does mean that maintaining vascular health becomes increasingly important. Lifestyle factors such as physical activity, nutrition, sleep, and stress management directly influence blood flow and can significantly slow or even reverse age-related declines in sexual function. Stress deserves special attention in this context. Chronic stress activates the body's fight or flight response, releasing hormones like cortisol and adrenaline that constrict blood vessels and divert blood away from non-essential functions, including sexual activity. Even if desire is present, a stressed body may struggle to deliver adequate blood flow to sexual tissues. This is one reason why mental and emotional states have such a powerful impact on sexual performance. They are directly influencing circulation at a physiological level. It is also important to understand that blood flow does not work in isolation. It interacts closely with hormones such as testosterone, estrogen, and insulin. Healthy circulation ensures that these hormones are delivered efficiently to tissues where they exert their effects. Conversely, hormonal imbalances can impair blood vessel function, creating a feedback loop that further undermines sexual health. Supporting blood flow therefore helps create an internal environment where hormones can function optimally. Perhaps most empowering is the realization that blood flow is highly responsive to daily habits. Unlike genetic factors, circulation can improve relatively quickly when the body is given the right signals. Physical movement increases blood vessel flexibility and nitric oxide production. Nutrient-dense foods support endothelial health. Deep, restorative sleep allows blood vessels to repair themselves. Even short-term improvements in these areas can lead to noticeable changes in sexual responsiveness and stamina. Understanding the hidden role of blood flow reframes sexual health from a narrow focus on performance to a broader view of whole body vitality. Sexual function becomes a reflection of how well the heart, blood vessels, nerves, and metabolism are working together. When circulation is strong, sexual health often improves naturally without force or frustration. Rather than being an isolated issue, sexual vitality becomes a signal that the body's internal systems are aligned and thriving. While blood flow is the foundation of sexual function, what determines the quality of that flow is largely influenced by daily lifestyle patterns and hidden biological processes that operate beneath conscious awareness. Many people assume sexual health issues appear suddenly, but in reality, they are often the result of years of gradual changes in vascular function. Understanding how everyday habits shape circulation helps explain why sexual vitality can either decline silently or improve dramatically when the body is supported correctly. One of the most powerful regulators of blood flow is physical movement. When muscles contract during activity, they signal blood vessels to widen, increasing circulation throughout the body, including the pelvic region. Regular movement keeps blood vessels elastic and responsive, preventing them from becoming stiff or narrowed. This elasticity is essential for rapid blood delivery during arousal. A sedentary lifestyle, on the other hand, reduces blood vessel flexibility, slows circulation, and weakens the body's ability to redirect blood efficiently to sexual tissues when needed. Nutrition plays an equally critical role in shaping blood flow. The inner lining of blood vessels depends on specific nutrients to function properly. Diets rich in refined sugars, trans fats, and processed foods promote inflammation and oxidative stress, which damage the endothelium and impair nitric oxide production. Over time, this creates a state where blood vessels struggle to relax, even when the brain sends strong arousal signals. In contrast, diets rich in whole foods, plant compounds, healthy fats, and minerals support smooth blood flow and vessel repair. Blood sugar regulation is another often overlooked factor. Frequent spikes in blood glucose damage blood vessels and reduce nitric oxide availability. This is why individuals with insulin resistance or type 2 diabetes frequently experience sexual dysfunction. High blood sugar stiffens arteries, reduces nerve sensitivity, and interferes with the delicate signaling required for arousal. Stabilizing blood sugar through balanced meals, fiber intake, and regular movement can significantly improve circulation and sexual responsiveness over time. Sleep is where vascular repair truly happens. During deep sleep, the body releases growth hormone and activates repair pathways that restore blood vessel integrity. Poor or inconsistent sleep disrupts this process, leading to chronic inflammation and reduced nitric oxide production. Even short-term sleep deprivation can lower testosterone levels, increase stress hormones, and constrict blood vessels, creating a perfect storm for reduced sexual performance. Restorative sleep is not a luxury for sexual health. It is a biological necessity. Stress, both psychological and physiological, has a direct and immediate impact on blood flow. When the body perceives stress, it prioritizes survival over reproduction. Blood is redirected away from the pelvic region toward the heart, lungs, and muscles. Chronic stress keeps blood vessels in a semi-constricted state, limiting circulation even during moments of intimacy. Over time, this stress-driven vascular constriction becomes habitual, making it harder for the body to shift into a relaxed, arousal-ready state. Hormonal balance also shapes how effectively blood flows to sexual tissues. Testosterone supports nitric oxide production and maintains the health of blood vessels in men and women. Estrogen plays a similar role by preserving vascular flexibility and promoting healthy circulation. When hormone levels decline or become imbalanced, blood vessels lose responsiveness and sexual tissues receive less oxygen and nourishment. Supporting hormonal health through lifestyle choices indirectly strengthens blood flow and sexual function. Another critical but rarely discussed factor is chronic inflammation. Low-grade inflammation damages the endothelium, thickens arterial walls, and disrupts blood vessel signaling. This inflammatory state often stems from poor diet, lack of movement, chronic stress, and environmental toxins. Sexual dysfunction can be one of the earliest outward signs of this internal inflammation. Reducing inflammatory load allows blood vessels to regain their natural ability to dilate and respond to arousal signals. Circulation to the pelvic region is also influenced by posture and muscular tension. Prolonged sitting, tight hip flexors, and weak gluteal muscles can compress blood vessels and nerves supplying sexual organs. This mechanical restriction reduces blood flow independent of cardiovascular health. Gentle stretching, posture awareness, and strengthening of the pelvic and hip muscles can restore proper circulation and nerve signaling, improving sensation and responsiveness. Importantly, blood flow adapts to the signals it receives. When sexual activity is infrequent or associated with anxiety, the body may reduce blood supply to sexual tissues over time. Conversely, positive sexual experiences reinforce neural and vascular pathways, improving circulation with repeated use. This adaptability means that sexual health is not fixed. It is responsive to experience, emotion, and behavior. Perhaps the most encouraging insight is that improvements in blood flow often produce benefits beyond sexual health. Better circulation enhances energy levels, cognitive function, mood stability, and physical endurance. Sexual vitality becomes a reflection of overall physiological resilience rather than an isolated function. When blood vessels are healthy, the entire body operates more efficiently, and sexual function naturally aligns with that vitality. Understanding these hidden influences shifts the focus from quick fixes to long-term support. Rather than viewing sexual challenges as isolated problems to be suppressed or masked, they can be seen as signals inviting deeper care for the body's circulatory system. When daily habits support blood flow, sexual health often improves as a natural outcome, not through force, but through restoration. Beyond the mechanics of blood flow and the lifestyle factors that support it, sexual health is deeply intertwined with the mind-body connection. While physical circulation is essential, the brain is the ultimate conductor of sexual function. Thoughts, emotions, and psychological state have a profound effect on vascular response, demonstrating that sexual vitality is not just a matter of anatomy, but also of perception, focus, and emotional well-being. The nervous system acts as the bridge between mental state and blood flow. Sexual arousal begins in the brain, where sensory input, memories, and fantasies activate specific neural pathways. These pathways communicate with the autonomic nervous system, which governs involuntary processes such as heart rate, blood vessel dilation, and hormone release. Parasympathetic activation, often described as the rest and digest state, is particularly important for sexual arousal as it triggers vasodilation in genital tissues. Chronic stress or anxiety, however, shifts the body towards sympathetic dominance, constricting blood vessels and reducing the effectiveness of arousal signals. In this way, mental and emotional states can either amplify or suppress the physical processes necessary for sexual function. Mindfulness and focused attention can enhance this neurovascular interplay. Individuals who practice being fully present during sexual activity often experience stronger, longer-lasting arousal. Techniques such as deep breathing, progressive relaxation, and conscious engagement of the senses help maintain parasympathetic dominance, optimize blood flow, and sustain the delicate pressure needed for erection or genital engorgement. By calming the mind and reducing distractions, these practices remove barriers that interfere with natural vascular responses. The role of hormones in this mind-body dynamic cannot be overstated. Testosterone, estrogen, and progesterone influence libido, arousal, and responsiveness, but they also affect mood, energy, and confidence, all of which feed back into the sexual experience. Cortisol, the stress hormone, can suppress sexual desire and constrict blood vessels, while endorphins and dopamine enhance pleasure, motivation, and circulatory responsiveness. Supporting hormonal balance through sleep, nutrition, and stress reduction strengthens the entire system, creating a fertile environment for sexual vitality. Another critical aspect is the cumulative effect of sexual experiences on vascular and neural pathways. Positive experiences reinforce blood flow and nerve signaling patterns, creating a self-perpetuating cycle of enhanced function. Conversely, repeated anxiety, performance pressure, or sexual dissatisfaction can lead to a downregulation of blood flow and arousal responsiveness. Over time, the body adapts to these patterns, highlighting the importance of psychological well-being alongside physical health. Blood flow also plays a role in sexual satisfaction beyond arousal and performance. Genital tissues require a steady supply of oxygen and nutrients, not only to respond to stimulation, but also to maintain tissue health and sensation over time. Regular, healthy circulation ensures the integrity of nerves, vascular tissue, and connective structures, supporting long-term sexual function. In this sense, blood flow is both the mechanism and the sustainer of sexual vitality, influencing every stage from desire to orgasm and recovery. Moreover, sexual health cannot be fully understood without considering the social and relational context. Emotional intimacy, trust, and connection enhance arousal by reducing stress, promoting parasympathetic activation, and allowing the body to fully engage. Positive emotional experiences increase oxytocin release, which supports vascular relaxation and enhances the pleasure of sexual activity. Conversely, unresolved conflict, fear, or shame can activate stress pathways, constricting blood vessels and impairing circulation. The vascular system therefore responds not only to physical stimuli, but also to the quality of emotional engagement. Preventing sexual dysfunction is more effective than attempting to restore function after it declines. Strategies that maintain blood flow throughout life have a profound impact on sexual longevity. Regular cardiovascular exercise, a nutrient-dense diet, adequate hydration, and avoidance of toxins such as nicotine all promote healthy vascular function. Simultaneously, managing stress, cultivating emotional intimacy, and practicing mindfulness create the mental and emotional conditions necessary for optimal blood flow during sexual activity. Together, these approaches provide a comprehensive foundation for sexual health that integrates body, mind, and heart. Finally, understanding the hidden role of blood flow empowers individuals to take control of their sexual health. Rather than relying solely on medications or quick fixes, people can adopt a holistic approach that supports vascular, hormonal, neural, and emotional systems simultaneously. Sexual vitality becomes a reflection of overall well-being, signaling that the body is functioning harmoniously and that mind, heart, and circulation are aligned. When blood flow is optimized, sexual health is not just restored, it flourishes, becoming a source of pleasure, connection, and confidence that enhances life at every level. By focusing on circulation, lifestyle habits, and psychological well-being together, sexual health can be sustained naturally and effectively. Blood flow is more than a mechanical necessity. It is a living, dynamic process that integrates every dimension of human experience. The hidden role it plays is a reminder that sexual vitality is a whole body phenomenon, and nurturing it requires attention to the body, the mind, and the heart alike. Now, you know the hidden role blood flow plays in sexual health. It's not just about desire, it's about supporting your body, mind, and circulation. By improving your lifestyle, reducing stress, and keeping your blood vessels healthy, you're not only enhancing sexual vitality, you're investing in your overall well-being. Start today, pay attention to your circulation, and watch how your energy, confidence, and sexual health transform naturally. If you found this video helpful, hit that like button, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs to hear this. Your body will thank you.